To perform myofascial release on your hamstrings, the back of your upper thigh, grab a ball, grab a chair. Sit towards the front of your chair. Take the ball, and I want you to place it about 2 inches underneath your butt cheek. So your butt cheek's here, about 2 inches down, right there. Sit on it towards the front of your chair, and then squish it with your body weight. As always, we're going to explore first, and I just want you to pay attention to what you feel, notice, and you're looking for spots that feel tender, uncomfortable. So I want you to slide your leg from side to side. Actually, you're sliding kind of your whole body. Take your butt, slide it to one side, slide it to the other side, nice and slow, and just see what you feel. You're kind of shearing back and forth across the muscle. And then you can also slowly start to slide your butt back towards the back of the chair, which will move the ball up your leg. Just like 1/2 inch is probably all you need, just so you can feel the neck spot. Really get towards the inside of your thigh, and then when you roll to the other side, get towards the outside of your thigh, and see if you can find a spot. You've probably found one already, so pick a spot that doesn't feel so good, and then I want you to hang out there. If you need it a little bit deeper, put your whole body weight into it. You can even kind of lean forward and press down into your leg if you need a bit more. Remember, your job now is to relax on that spot. Breathe, big exhales. Stay there for up to 30 seconds if you need to. The goal is to have that spot release. So mine already feels a bit better. It feels like I must have moved a tiny bit. So once it releases, feels a bit better, go ahead and move on. Or if you get to 30 seconds and it hasn't released, go ahead and move on. Start shearing back and forth across the muscle again until you can find another spot. Your spot might be right next to the other spot. You might just need to barely move to find your next spot, or you might need to do quite a bit of work. Rolling side to side. Remember, especially get out here on the outside. Not the complete right side, but it's like you're going that direction. So you're kind of getting the back right of your hamstrings. Stop, hold, be still, be mindful, wait. And remember, some stubborn areas aren't going to release at first. They might not release until you do it again tomorrow or the next day or even next week. Don't run from the pain. If it's too painful, you'll know it because you'll start to hold your breath. You'll feel, you might feel anxious and stressed, and we don't want that. If you're feeling that, then it's too much. And I'll give you some options here in just a minute when we switch over to the other leg. But while we stay on this side, I just want you to explore with the ball. See what you can find, get some spots to release. As you slowly get your hips back, you might have to take your hand and move the ball up to find another spot. Please avoid the back of the knee. All right, if you're not already on a spot, find a spot for me. I want to teach you a technique. So for me, that's a nice spot. You already know that you can just hang out and you can breathe. Another option that might help it release a bit faster is to, once you've got the ball pinned into a spot, start to straighten your leg. You don't have to straighten it all the way, just straighten it a little bit, and then bend it again. Add the breathing. And then again, once it releases, or 30 seconds, you can move on. Okay, not doing the back of the knee. Okay, let's go ahead and move to the other side. If this ball worked for you, you go ahead and start working on the other side, shearing side to side, finding a spot and starting to work on a spot. Those of you that felt like maybe the ball wasn't the best and want to try some other things, you can always use a bigger ball or a smaller ball. Okay, and see if that gets in a bit differently for you. If it was too painful for you, roller is almost always the next best option. It's not going to hurt nearly as much. If you want to just do one leg at a time, you would need to put the roller off to the side. You can do both legs at a time. If you are super, super tender in your hamstrings, this is probably going to be the easiest for you. Otherwise, just put it off to the side so you get one leg at a time. If, on the other hand, you felt like the ball wasn't really doing much for you, try a PVC pipe or a dowel or a rolling pin. You can also do this on the floor, by the way, guys, if you want to. It's just sometimes it's hard to get your leg that straight in front of you on the floor, but you're welcome to give it a shot. Anyway, so the PVC pipe is a great option too. So once you find the tool that works for you, I'm gonna go ahead and get my other leg a little bit like you guys are. Don't forget the technique where you pin and you straighten and bend. It can also help to flex your foot. If that's too much, point it. Otherwise, flex it. It even feels good just to point and flex. And the other thing I want you to try on a spot is contract and relax. So get yourself on a spot, pressing down into that spot. And I want you to engage your hamstring. Make it tight, like you're trying to push away the instrument that you're using to massage. Push it away, push it away, push it away, and then relax. When you relax, breathe, big exhales, letting the instrument dig into the muscle. So contract, inhale, press away as that muscle's tight, 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 and big, and then relax and let it come in. Go ahead and try that a couple more times if you want. Again, all these are just ideas. Everybody's going to be a bit different. You just have to explore and find what allows your muscle to release the best and what allows you to get best into those areas that are bothering you. Another technique you can try, find your spot, press down into it, and take your leg and rotate your lower leg. Take it out, take it in, take it out, take it in. So I found a spot right there, so I'm going to leave my lower leg out. Hang out here and breathe. If you need to work on your hamstrings longer, please do so. Now that you're done with the myofascial release on the back of your legs, your hamstrings, let's get some movement in that area. Come onto your back, bend your knees, have your feet down on the ground. Bring one leg into your chest, bring it as close as you can to your body. Clasp your hands behind your thigh. Use your arm muscles to keep your leg there as best you can. And then straighten your leg as much as you can. And bend it. As you exhale, straighten your leg. As you inhale, bend your leg. Continue that motion. And each time you straighten, remember, use your arms to keep it there. You don't want your leg to come out to here. Exhale, straighten. Inhales when you bend it, and follow your own breath. You don't need to follow my pace. Next time you straighten your leg, keep it straight and make 4 ankle circles in one direction and then 4 in the other direction. Bend your knee. Straighten your leg one last time and hold it. Continue to breathe. With your exhale, see if you can get it a little bit straighter. Shaking is a good thing. If you feel too much of a pull or pain in the back of your knee, bend your leg a little bit more. And release it down. Okay, other side. Bring your leg in as close to your body. Clasp your hands behind your thigh. Use your arms to hold it there. Exhale, straighten your leg as much as you can. Inhale, bend. Exhale, straighten. Inhales, bend. If you need more, you are always welcome to straighten the bottom leg. The next time you straighten your leg, hold it there. Make 4 ankle circles one direction and 4 the other way. And bend your knee. Last time, straighten and hold it there. Focus on your breath. Keep your hips down. Sometimes your hips might want to roll up a bit off the ground. Keep them grounded. And relax your leg back down. That's it for hamstrings. To perform myofascial release on your quads, the front, upper thigh, grab a roller. Come onto your belly. Have the roller perpendicular to you. And then place your body on top. And to start, just try one leg. So instead of it being under both legs, I'll show you the other side. One leg on the roller. And I like to bring the other leg up, the knee up alongside my body, kind of like a frog leg. So now I'll go back. So you can see the other side. All right, so let your body weight come down onto the roller. Keep your core engaged so you're not doing a huge back bend here. Press your thigh down. And then again, explore at the beginning. So I like to go from side to side first. So you can kind of roll your body towards the right side. Roll your leg towards the inside. Noticing what you feel. You can always slide your body up, letting the roller come down a little bit and try it again. Go back and forth, going across the tissue, side to side, and see if you can find a spot. Once you find a spot, stop on it, hang out, breathe. You're looking for those, painful clumps or adhered, sticky muscles. It might feel like a knot. It might feel more like a cable or a rope. And those are the places where you want to hang out and breathe. See if you can get it to release. If it already released, find another spot. If this is too painful for you, you can take both legs on the roller at the same time. That's not going to put as much pressure. On the other hand, if you find that the roller just isn't working much for you, it's not digging in enough, you can grab a ball. You can grab a PVC pipe. I think I'll go for the PVC pipe today. You pick and explore. You can always hit pause until you figure out what tool is going to work the best for you. A ball, tennis ball or massage ball can be a great option. Okay, so find a spot for me. Hang out on that spot. And I want you to bend your knee. See how that feels. And then straighten it. Bend. Exhales. Don't forget the big exhales. And straighten. If that's something you like, this is a great way to get into the spots a bit more. Some spots are kind of stubborn and they won't release at first, and you gotta take time, extra time, or you have to find little techniques like this, bending and straightening of your knee to get them to release. And then when you're ready, you just keep moving on, find another spot. Don't forget to kind of go on the outside and the inside a little bit. I don't want you to roll all the way over to the complete other side. I don't want you to roll completely to the outside of your leg, but just a little bit so that you're really getting the full front of your leg. All right, let's go ahead and switch. I'm gonna pick a ball this time. Part of this is just figuring out, what's gonna work for you. And then if this ends up being something that you need, you'll learn what tool is the best and what you want for next time. So I'm shearing, going back and forth across the muscle, left to right. There's a spot for me. I'm gonna bend and breathe. Another option I like is bend the leg, and then you can take your lower leg and rotate it in and out over the knot that you found. See how that goes. So in case you can't see it, you're working the front of your leg. When I talk about rolling side to side, you're going over to the inside, over to the outside, inside and outside, just trying to find, you're kind of massaging it out, feeling what you feel, and then you find a spot and you hang out. I don't want you to get down into your knee. And then you are also bending and straightening. Any other movement that you can find that allows you to release your tight spots. Okay, now that you've finished massaging your quads, let's get some movement and a stretch in that area. I need you to find a wall that you can put your lower leg on. I'm going to use the end of my bed. Maybe you've got a couch or a chair that you can use as well. You're going to have one knee down and you're going to have one leg up behind you, kind of like this. And this is going to be on the wall. So make sure you protect your bottom knee. I have a yoga mat here, a nice thick dense one. Make sure you have a blanket or something underneath your knee so that you don't hurt your kneecap. Okay, so take your back leg, tuck your toe under, and place it up on the wall. It doesn't have to be, your leg doesn't have to be smashed up against the wall. You can have a decent bend in your knee, kind of whatever works for your body. So the foot's on the wall, ankle right above the knee. So you don't want to have your foot out or have your foot in. Have it right behind your butt cheek. Draw your body forward. Take the other leg, walk it around. So you're in a low lunge. Okay, so the goal here is to feel a stretch and get some movement in the back leg, the front of the back leg. So if you are getting that and you're down here, then this is a great place to stay. Just stay here and feel that. On the other hand, if you can get your hands up on your leg, bring your hands up on your leg. Okay, from here, those of you that are here, I want you to tuck your tail, pull your belly button in, pull your front ribs in, and you should already be feeling a huge stretch in the front of your leg. If you can handle a bit more, lengthen your spine up, lift your heart up to the sky. So you're coming into a little bit of a back bend. I'll show you on this side. But you are so tucked here that the back bend is coming from your heart, from up here in your chest and your upper back. We're not doing this. Not dumping into your low back. Keeping this pulled in tight and strong. Then lifting your heart up. Lengthening more than anything. Lengthening up. Breathing. All right, come on out. Come to the other side. To get out of that, slowly walk your front leg around. And then get your other foot on the wall or couch or whatever you have behind you. Tuck your foot so you tuck your toes under. Hands to the ground, walk your other foot forward. You want to have your knee right above your ankle. And again, come up here if you can, otherwise you can always stay here. If you came up to here, should be feeling a good stretch. Everybody should be feeling a good stretch here. Draw your belly button in, tuck your tail down, kind of scoop your tail down so you feel even more of a stretch here. If you're okay there, lift your heart up, come into a bit of a back bend using your upper back. Think about you're trying to show your throat up to the ceiling, up to the sky. Recheck. You've got your core engaged by tucking that tail, pulling your front ribs to your front hip points. And release out of it. Take your foot back. And there you go. Let's explore self-myofascial release on the outside area of your upper leg, of your thigh. Start with a roller. You can try a ball a little bit later, but start with a roller because this area is pretty tender for most people. And I'd rather you start a little softer and then move up to harder if you find you need it. So take the roller, come onto your side on the floor, place your hip on the roller, and then slide it down a bit more underneath your leg. Come down onto your arm, your forearm, and then get your body weight right onto the roller. I like to have my bottom leg just a little bit bent, and the top leg I like to have bent quite a bit and have it behind you for balance, using your back toe for balance. And you want to be right on the side of your leg. You can move your body forward and backward, letting your muscle get massaged from side to side. And you can roll your body up and down to get the roller to move in that direction. And as usual, right now you're just exploring, and you've probably already found a spot. But your job here is to find a spot that you want to work on. So for me, it's right here, and then you want to hang out. If this is too much for you, you can take this to the wall. Go stand next to a wall and then sandwich the roller between the wall and your thigh and massage it that way. On the other hand, if you feel like you need more, you can take your top leg and you can stack it on the bottom leg. You can even lift your legs up off the floor. And then from there, you can roll front to back, up and down, and find your spot. Big exhales. Stay there until it releases or feels a little bit better, or 30 seconds at the most. If it hasn't released within 30 seconds, just move on. Find another spot. If this is too much for your head and your neck, depending on your height, you can use your arm to support your head. You can also come all the way down and you can get a pillow or a block. So be mindful when you're doing all of these. Be mindful what's going on with the rest of your body. And if you need to support something a little bit better or different, take the time to get yourself set up. So I'm just kind of rocking forward and backward again, trying to find another spot. You can come down about to your knee, maybe like an inch above your knee, just to be safe. You can also bend the bottom leg. Once you find a spot, you can bend it and you can straighten it. You can bend it, you can straighten it. You can also take the top leg and put it in front. It's another option. I'm gonna bend and straighten the bottom leg a bit more. I'm on a nice hard spot. Again, you're looking for those knots, you're looking for those trigger points. As always, if you find you want to spend longer on a spot than I do, just pause me. Everybody's different. Some people aren't going to need this at all. Others you're going to need about the same time as me. Some of you are going to need to spend, minutes on one side. So I'm going to go ahead and switch to the other side, but if you need to, pause and keep working on that side. Perpendicular to your body, and get your leg on it. Figure out what you want to do with your other leg, stacked or not. Start exploring by rolling around side to side, up and down, find your spots. So again, I had mentioned that you can try using a ball here. A ball or two balls, big ones, little ones. Same idea, but this is how you would use a ball. I have a larger one that I like. As always, you decide what's going to work best for you. So keep in mind that sometimes when you're on a spot, you might be feeling that that spot that you're on is what hurts. You might feel it so locally right there, or you might feel it somewhere else in your body. You could hit on a spot, and rather than feeling it there, you might feel it more in your knee. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. Sometimes that's a good thing. You're releasing a muscle that attaches somewhere else in your body. And although you're working on your leg, you might be hopefully positively impacting your knee. And the general rule is if it feels better after doing this, then it's probably a good thing. Sometimes you'll feel better right away. Other times you won't feel better until the next day or after doing it for a few days. So it's one of those things you just got to play with it for at least a few days and then see how your body reacts and how you feel. I'm going to go back to the roller. I think it's best to do this work in a setting where you can relax, where it's quiet and you can focus and really pay attention to what your body is feeling and pay attention to your breath. However, sometimes you just got to do this stuff wherever you can. And if that's, in where your kids are playing because you need to watch them, fine, then that's where you do it. Or if it's while you're watching the news because that's the only time you've got, go for it. In the end, make it work for you. And then always be mindful. Every body is different. We all have different things that have gone on in our lives. Stress, injuries, you might have scar tissue. So listen to your intuition. If you ever feel like, you've tried it a couple of times and you're like, this is too painful or it's just not working for me, then back off, don't do it, find a professional. I mean, in the end, all of this should make you feel better. Okay. All right, and that is how you massage the outside of your thigh. Let's do a stretch on both legs. Come to standing, cross one leg over in front of the other, so make an X with your legs. And then I want you to forward fold. Feel free to use a chair, blocks. Your roller is a great option to support yourself as you forward fold. If you don't need support, you can just let your body come all the way down. Hopefully feeling a stretch in your upper legs. Come on up to standing, switch your legs, other one in front now. I'm going to turn to the side so you can see me. Forward fold again, using support again if you need it. I'm going to turn the roller down and use it this way. Always using your breath to relax, release any tension and stress. Unwind your legs. Nice job. To work the inside of your thighs, your adductors, grab a roller, join me on the floor. Have the roller parallel to your body as you come down onto your belly, or almost onto your belly. Bring your top leg up like a frog and place it on the roller. So it'll be a couple inches up from your knee. Adjust your lower body, your other leg, to just be straight behind you. And then from there, you can come down and you can relax your head on your forearm, or if you have a block or a pillow, you can place it underneath your head. So from here, I want you to actively press your leg down into the roller. One way to think about it is that you're trying to kind of rotate your hips and draw your hip down towards the floor, and that will press your leg into the roller as well. Explore, just move up and down a tiny bit. You're only trying to be able to go a few inches and see what you feel. See if you can find a spot. Adductors can be pretty tight for a lot of us. It's a great area to work if you have low back pain. Also be helpful if you've got knee pain. This is one you definitely want to try for a few days before you give up on it. So find a spot, and then once you're there, you can just hold on it as usual and breathe. Or a technique I would like you to try is take your lower leg, bend it, and straighten it. And you might not bend it the whole way, you might not straighten it the whole way, just enough that you can try to work out that spot. Another option is to rotate your leg so your foot's going to go up towards the sky, and it's going to go down. It's going to go up, and it's going to go down. And just see if with those, either or both of those techniques, if you can get that to spot to feel a bit better. Once it's better, or it's been 30 seconds, move on. If you need to start to go up higher, just take the roller, roll it towards your body a little bit to find a new spot. Now roll your hips towards the ground and back to move the roller up and down. Try those techniques again. Moving your leg or bending and straightening. See if you can find a spot. I'm going to lift my leg up just a tiny bit. That helps me get into the spot a bit better. Now I'm just going to hang out and breathe. So remember, when you've got a restriction or an adhesion in your fascia, you can't move fully. So when you've got, if you find a restriction in here, that might be keeping your knee from moving the way it's supposed to be, or the way it's supposed to move. Just keep exploring, moving the rollers you need to. You can get up close to your groin. And if you don't find anything, take it back down. And then once you've worked out all the spots, as much as they're willing to release today, then we move on. So let's go ahead and move on to the other leg. So remember, you start with the roller parallel to your body. Bring your leg up like a frog. And then kind of roll your top hip and your body down in order to push down into the roller. See what you find here using those techniques, rotating the leg or bending and straightening your leg. Now, while you guys are working this, I want to show you one other option because it might work better for some of you. If you want, try it. If you're happy with the other option, then just keep on that one. So the other idea is to sit with your legs in a kind of a Z pattern, and then you can take an elbow and you can dig down into your leg. This is a great one that you can even do, depending on your flexibility, sometimes in a chair. And if you don't want to use your elbow, you can take a ball with your hands on top of it, and you can press down and roll and find a spot and hold and breathe and release. This is another one that even though you're pushing on a particular spot, you might feel it release in another area of your body, like your knee. Keep in mind you might be sore. If you're sore the next day, then take a day off. Skip the sore body parts. So I'm just moving around, trying to find a spot. There we go. Hanging out, relaxing, breathing. So if you need more, pause me and keep going. Otherwise, we're going to move on to a couple of exercises for this. The first one is a nice stretch, a frog. Come onto your knees. Open your knees out as wide as you can. Toes coming towards one another behind you. Make sure you have support underneath your kneecaps. If you need a blanket or a thick mat rolled up underneath your knees, please do so, because if you're on a hard floor, this can really hurt your knees. From there, draw your hips forward slightly. So I'm trying to get my hips in line with my knees. Then bring your body down, if you can, onto your arms. From here, you might draw your body forward a bit or back a bit. See what works for you. Usually taking your hips back towards your heels is what's going to do it. So you want to feel a stretch on the inside of your thighs where we just worked. So slowly draw your hips back to your heels and then find your sweet spot. Hang out that area where you're feeling enough of a stretch that it feels useful, but not so much that you're hurting yourself. Breathe. If you need to come out of it and come back into it, I think that's great. Adding a little bit of movement is usually a good thing. Okay, come onto your side. We'll do a few leg lifts. Always supporting your head and your neck. Bottom leg is straight. Top leg, put it in front. Have your foot really close to your thigh, touching your thigh probably. Take your bottom leg, lift it up, and take it down. Lift it up and take it down. I want you to have a nice straight spine as you do this, so you might need to think about lifting your side waist a little bit. Core is engaged and tight. Next time you lift your leg, hold it there. Take it down, lift, little pulses at the top, and hold at the top. Take it down. Okay, other side. Bottom leg is straight. Top leg in the front, foot's down for support. Support your head. Lift the bottom leg and take it back down. Lift and take it down. Spine is straight. So you're lifting your side waist. Top hand can be anywhere you need it for support so you don't fall over. Next time you lift your leg, hold it there. Take it down, lift it up and pulse. Anytime you want on these exercises, you can always do a second or a third set. I just want to teach it to you so you know it. Hold your leg up. And take it down. All right, nice job working your adductors, the inside of your thigh. If you printed the body chart, go ahead and grab it with the writing utensil. I want you to note how uncomfortable this was for each area that we worked on. I recommend using a scale of 1 to 5, where 5 is the most painful, 3 is in the middle, so I would probably consider that uncomfortable, and 1 feels nice, unnecessary, I think is a good word. For areas you noted a 3, 4, or a 5, I want you to add any notes, such as a particular technique or a tip that you might want to remember when you're working on that area. Now remember, if your body conditions or intuition tells you an area is not right for you, please do not do it. I want you to seek help from a professional instead. So for the next week, I want you to work on all the areas that you noted as a 3 or up, so a 3, a 4, or a 5. There really is no exact plan for how much time you should spend on any one area. Honestly, you gotta work with it for a while, and you gotta find your sweet spot where you're doing it enough that you are making positive change, but not so much that you're wasting your time or bruising yourself. I would say, just to give you an idea, on average 5 times a week is probably good, and maybe 2 to 3 minutes per area, but again, everyone is going to be different. Hopefully you will find, like me, that your pain level adjusts quickly. I might be a 5 in one area, and then a week later I'm a 4, and then a week later I'm a 3. I mean, sometimes our body adjusts really, really quickly, and the pain scale will go down fast. I had a muscle, it was in my back, that would take about 5 minutes of work for me to feel better. But after a few weeks of doing it 1 to 2 times a day, it started releasing in seconds. I started doing it less and less. Again, originally I was doing it daily, but now I only do it when I need it. And hopefully that's what you will find as well, that it will release quicker and you won't need it nearly as often. Other things to note, I want you to drink lots of water and know that you might be sore tomorrow. If so, take a break from that area, and then you can try and do it again the next day if you're not sore anymore. If you need help with the areas, feel free to just watch the videos over and over and do it with me. Otherwise, once you've got it down, just feel free to do it on your own. Either way, be sure to make it quality work. Your muscles are going to release faster if you just relax, focus on what you're doing, and most importantly, remember to breathe, especially those big exhales. With that said, I will see you next week.